Hey, Budget Nerd here. In today's video, we'll be going over the IOGEAR Wireless TV Connection Kit. Well, thanks for joining. The friendly folks at IOGEAR were kind enough to send me one of these kits to check out. It's a wireless TV connection kit, and it will let you connect a DVR, cable box, Xbox, PlayStation, or anything really with an HDMI output to a TV wirelessly. No wireless home network needed. So if you have something in the next room and the walls are made of brick, you could connect them to your TV using radio waves. So this little device, or these devices, will do 1080p at 60 frames per second and should transmit up to 120 feet, they claim. This particular unit will allow you to connect several sources using different channels. Now, anyone familiar with my channel knows I like to wire everything I can. It's more secure, more reliable, and faster. However, when you can't run wires, wireless can be a great option these days. So, can these devices deliver? Let's find out. So first off, I really like this packaging. I love the colors. So inside, you have the obligatory manuals and warnings and such. Inside, it tells you how to set it up. It has a few diagrams and descriptions to help you out. Then you have the transmitter, protected with plastic, with vents on the bottom. Needs more cooling, if you ask me. These units did run hot during testing. And on the back, you have your basic ports. Next, you have the receiver. Pretty much looks the same as the transmitter, but they are labeled, so you can tell the difference. Both the transmitter and the receiver are already paired out of the box, so that's good. Under this part, you have the IR blaster and receiver cables for remote controlling whatever you plan on hooking up. Then there's a remote, and it allows you to remote control your remotely controlled device remotely without getting up off the sofa. It comes with two good quality HDMI cables, which is also great. And then you got the two power adapters for the receiver and the transmitter. And of course, let's not forget about the two antennas for the two units. So I decided to hook it up to my computer in my garage and the other side to my TV, naturally, in my family room. So you peel out the plastic, screw on the antenna, plug in the power. HDMI goes here clearly, and the IR cable goes here if you want to use it. I didn't. Once hooked up, they connected automatically right away, which was pretty awesome. However, I also noticed right away that this might be a little too far for the units. It consistently dropped its connection. Not shockingly, the distance will dictate what you can do with these. The signal really struggled from the garage, and I decided to move it closer. When it was close enough to connect, it worked well. The images for HD video looked great. 2 rooms away, it would still lag from time to time, and it seemed to drop some frames, and the video would become sluggish sometimes. Your results may vary. I have a lot of wireless noise in my house, so in a house with less wireless noise, you'd probably get different results. So to prove this, I ran a speed test on my cell phone, which uses my Wi-Fi network. The transmitter and receiver would drop their connection. They are pretty susceptible to wireless interference, then, apparently. Alternatively, when they were in the same room close together, a speed test wouldn't drop their connection, but their presence would prevent my cell phone from getting speeds above 3 megabits per second, when I was used to seeing around 115. Turns out these units broadcast on the 5.1 to 5.8 gigahertz range. Modern dual-band wireless routers and access points operate close to that range as well, clearly close enough. Alright, so at this point, let's just make the rest of this video as easy as possible, right? I like these things, they're cool, and if you give them an ideal environment, they work well, and they look good for most applications. In the real world, this is how I would break it down. Keep in mind, your results may vary. So, if you want to use them across your entire house, and your house is kind of big, I didn't have much luck. Maybe you would. If you want to use it 2 rooms away, then you could use it for presentations, or PC, web surfing, standard def video perhaps. How about the room right next to your TV? I was able to get HD video easily. It never lost connection unless I ran a speed test, but would stutter a few times, but most of the time it was flawless and it looked good. I watched about 2/3 of a movie without any issue. For casual gaming, I'd put a maybe. How about the same room? At this point, you could pretty much do anything you want with these two units. You shouldn't have any issues with them in the same room. I never did. I gave gaming a question mark again, because even when the video was smooth and didn't drop, this setup does introduce some lag. It's not a lot, so if you're doing casual gaming, it might not bother you. Also, this setup does introduce a decent amount of compression to the video signal. You can see here a few screenshots of a game I was playing. You can see detail clearly, but when I went through the wireless TV setup, quite a lot of the detail was lost from the image, and the receiver and the transmitter were right next to each other at this point. I assume this same compression is going on during movie playback, but it would be much harder to detect. With the small lag and the compression these units introduce, I can't really recommend it for the serious gamer unless wireless is your only option. I also noticed that when using a separate audio setup, the audio and video were a little bit off sync because of the separate systems. Well, overall, I do like them. What they do is impressive, and given the proper environment, they work well for most all applications. An HDMI cable running between your two devices is best, but if that's not an option, and your setup might fit in my chart, then I would recommend them for sure. If you want to pick one up, I'll leave a link in the description. At the time of this video, they were around $100. If you have any questions, ask in the comments. Thanks for watching.